That person you can't stop thinking about, the one who appeared in your life like lightning and disappeared just as quickly. They weren't sent to torture you, they were sent to save you. I know this sounds impossible. Your heart is breaking. Your mind is spinning. You're asking yourself why the universe would be so cruel as to show you perfect love and then snatch it away. But what if I told you that every person who has ever walked away from you, every love that couldn't be, every connection that felt destined but ended in separation, what if every single one was not a punishment but a prescription? You see, most people believe that love is about getting what you want. But the deepest love, the kind that changes everything, is about becoming who you need to be. The person you cannot have is not your missing piece. They are your mirror. And until you understand this, you will continue to attract the same pattern over and over. People who ignite your soul and then vanish, leaving you more broken than before. Tonight, I'm going to show you something that will change how you see every relationship that has ever hurt you. Because that pain, it wasn't random. It was precise. It was surgical. It was designed to crack you open so that something magnificent could emerge. The person you think you lost was never yours to keep. But what they awakened in you, that is yours forever. You have been living as a beggar when you are a king. You have been seeking completion when you are already whole. You have been chasing shadows when you carry the light. And that person who couldn't stay, they came to remind you of who you really are underneath all the stories you've been telling yourself about what you need to be happy. By the end of this teaching, you will understand why every heartbreak has been holy, why every rejection has been redirection, why every ending has been a beginning. But more than that, you will know how to use this understanding to transform not just your love life, but your entire existence. Because the same force that brought them to you and took them away is working right now to bring you everything you've ever truly wanted. You just have to stop fighting it and start trusting it. Let me tell you about Pam. She was 34, divorced, and had given up on love. For 3 years, she'd been going through the motions, dating apps, blind dates, settling for connections that felt safe but empty. Then David walked into the coffee shop where she worked every morning on her laptop. He ordered a simple black coffee. She looked up from her screen and time stopped. Not because he was conventionally handsome, though he was attractive in an understated way, but because when their eyes met, she felt something she had never experienced before, recognition. As if her soul said, "Oh, there you are, I've been waiting for you." They talked for 2 hours. He was an architect, recently moved to town, working on a project that would only last 6 months. He was kind, brilliant, funny. He listened to her stories like they were poetry. He saw her in a way that made her feel like she was coming alive after years of sleepwalking. For 3 months they were inseparable. He would finish her sentences. She would dream his dreams before he told them to her. They created a world that existed only when they were together, a world where everything made sense. But David had a life in another city, a company he'd built from nothing, roots that ran too deep to transplant. And Pam had her own responsibilities, her aging mother, her business, her entire support system. They tried to make it work. Long-distance calls that stretched until dawn, weekend visits that felt like glimpses of paradise before the inevitable Monday morning goodbye. But the distance wasn't just geographic. They were in different phases of life, different places in their healing. What they had was beautiful, but it wasn't sustainable. The night David told her he was moving back permanently, Pam felt something inside her die. Not just disappointment, death. The death of a future she had already begun living in her imagination. She cried for 3 days. Then something strange happened. She remembered a teaching she'd heard years ago about the purpose of certain relationships, about how some people come into our lives not to stay, but to awaken us to possibilities we didn't know existed within ourselves. Pam began to pay attention to who she had become in David's presence. She had been more creative, more adventurous, more confident. She had started painting again, something she'd abandoned after her divorce. She had begun speaking up in meetings at work. She had stopped apologizing for taking up space in the world. David hadn't given her these qualities. He had recognized them. He had seen her as she truly was beneath the layers of hurt and self-doubt she'd been carrying. So Pam made a decision. Instead of mourning what she had lost, she would honor what she had discovered. She would continue being the version of herself that had emerged in David's presence. But this time, she would do it for herself. She enrolled in art classes. She started her own consulting business. She traveled to places that scared and excited her. She stopped waiting for permission to live fully. 6 months later, she met James at an art gallery, her art gallery, where her paintings were being displayed for the first time. James was nothing like David physically, but energetically, he matched the vibration of the woman Pam had become. Not the broken woman David had met, but the awakened woman their connection had revealed. They've been married for 2 years now, and Pam often says that she could never have been ready for James if she hadn't first met David. David wasn't the love of her life. He was the key to her life. He came to unlock something that had been sleeping inside her. Once awakened, it could never go back to sleep. The love she thought she'd lost with David was nothing compared to the love she found with herself. And that self-love became the foundation for a relationship that was not just passionate, but sustainable. The universe hadn't made a mistake. It had been perfectly precise. Now let me explain to you exactly how this works. Because understanding the mechanics of this process will free you from ever being a victim of love again. There is a law at work in your life that is more reliable than gravity. It is the law of consciousness. What you accept as true about yourself, though denied by your senses, will harden into fact. When you meet someone who creates that lightning bolt of recognition, you are not meeting a stranger. You are meeting a reflection of your own possibilities. They are showing you qualities that already exist within you, but have been suppressed, ignored, or forgotten. The intense attraction you feel is not really attraction to them. It is your soul's recognition of its own potential. You are being drawn to become more yourself, not to lose yourself in another person. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think they need that person in order to access those qualities. They believe that being with this person will somehow complete them, heal them, make them whole. This is backwards. You cannot attract what you are not ready to receive, and you cannot maintain what you have not become. The reason you cannot be with this person, despite the intensity of the connection, is because you are not yet vibrationally equivalent to the love you are seeking. You are trying to receive from a state of lack rather than give from a state of fullness. Let me make this practical. Think about the person you cannot be with. Write down the qualities that drew you to them, their confidence, their passion, their creativity, their authenticity, their peace, their joy. Now ask yourself honestly, how developed are these qualities within you? If you met someone who possessed all the qualities you admire in this person, but you yourself had not cultivated these qualities, what would happen? You would feel inadequate. You would become needy. You would try to extract from them what you should be generating within yourself. And energy always flows from higher to lower. If you are vibrating at the frequency of lack, and they are vibrating at the frequency of abundance, the relationship will drain them and disappoint you. This is why they cannot stay, not because the universe is cruel, but because the universe is wise. The connection you felt with them was real, but it was not meant to become a traditional relationship. It was meant to become a transmission of possibility. They came to show you what you are capable of becoming. The love you felt for them was actually love for your own unrealized potential. The connection you experienced was a preview of the connection you can have with life itself when you fully inhabit your own power. But here's the beautiful part. Once you understand this, you can use every failed relationship as a roadmap to your own evolution. Every person who has ever left you has left you with a gift. They have shown you aspects of yourself that were waiting to be developed. Your job is not to chase them or recreate that connection with someone else. Your job is to become the person who naturally attracts that level of love. When you stop trying to get love and start learning to be love, everything changes. The person who broke your heart by leaving was actually preparing your heart to give love at a level you never knew was possible. Think about it this way. A sculptor doesn't mourn the marble that falls away as they create their masterpiece. The marble that falls away is not waste, it is revelation. It reveals the form that was always hidden within the stone. Every person who has walked away from you has chipped away another piece of who you are not, revealing more clearly who you are. But you have to stop identifying with the broken pieces and start identifying with the masterpiece that is being revealed. This requires a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your relationships. Instead of asking, "Why did they leave me?" start asking, "What did they reveal about who I am becoming?" Instead of saying, "I need them to be happy," start saying, "I have everything I need to be happy already within me." Instead of believing, "I am incomplete without them," start knowing, "I am whole and I attract wholeness." This is not positive thinking. This is accurate thinking. You are not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You are recognizing something that has always been true, but has been obscured by false beliefs about what you need to be fulfilled. The love you seek is not in another person. The love you seek is what you are. When you know this, not just intellectually, but experientially, you will never again be at the mercy of someone else's presence or absence in your life. And paradoxically, this is when you become truly available for the kind of love that can last, because you will no longer be seeking completion through another person. You will be seeking to share your completeness with someone who is also complete. Two whole people creating something together is infinitely more powerful than two half people trying to make themselves whole through each other. The person you couldn't be with taught you this lesson. Now it's time to live it. Now I want you to do something that will change everything. We're going to shift your state from one of lack to one of fullness, from one of seeking to one of being. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, allow your body to relax completely. I want you to think about that person who cannot be in your life. See their face clearly in your mind. Feel the love you have for them. Don't push it away. Let it fill your heart completely. Now, instead of focusing on not having them, I want you to focus on what being with them revealed about you. How did you feel when you were with them? More confident, more creative, more alive, more yourself? Hold that feeling, breathe into it. This is not a feeling they gave you. This is a feeling they awakened in you. It was already there, waiting to be recognized. Now imagine that version of yourself, the confident, creative, alive version living your daily life. See yourself waking up each morning radiating this energy. See yourself moving through your work with this confidence. See yourself in conversations with friends, expressing this creativity. Don't imagine them in these scenes. Imagine yourself carrying the essence of who you became in their presence, but now as your natural state of being. Feel how good this feels. Feel how right it feels. This is not fantasy. This is remembering. This is coming home to who you really are underneath all the stories you've been telling yourself about what you need to be happy. Now, from this state of fullness, imagine love entering your life. Not the desperate, needy love that comes from emptiness, but the overflowing, generous love that comes from wholeness. See yourself in a relationship where you are not trying to get anything, but simply enjoying the experience of sharing your fullness with someone who is also full. Notice how different this feels from the frantic energy of trying to make someone stay or trying to find someone to complete you. This is what it feels like to be truly available for love, not because you need it, but because you are it. Stay in this feeling for as long as you can. This is your new baseline. This is who you really are. This is what you're returning to every time you meditate on these truths. The person who couldn't stay has given you the greatest gift possible. They have shown you that you don't need anyone to be whole. You are already whole, already complete, already worthy of the deepest love. Now open your eyes and carry this knowing into your daily life. Resistance dissolution, 4 minutes, 600 words. I know what you're thinking. This sounds beautiful, but what if I really did need them? What if they were the one and I lost my chance? Let me dissolve this doubt with truth. If they were truly meant to be in your life permanently, nothing could keep them away. No distance, no circumstances, no complications. The same force that brought you together would move mountains to keep you together. The fact that they couldn't stay means they weren't meant to stay. They were meant to awaken you and then step aside so you could integrate what they had shown you. But I've never felt that way about anyone before, you might say. Good. That means you've never been that awake before. That means you've reached a new level of consciousness, a new capacity for love. This is growth, not loss. But what if I never feel that way again? You will feel that way and more. But next time, you won't be dependent on the other person to maintain that feeling. You will be generating it from within yourself. And that is the difference between temporary magic and permanent transformation. But I can't stop thinking about them. Then stop trying to stop. Instead, transform your thoughts. Every time you think of them, instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you discovered about yourself in their presence. Use your thoughts of them as a reminder of your own magnificence, not evidence of your lack. The mind that created the problem cannot solve the problem. You must rise to a higher level of thinking, a level where you understand that nothing is ever lost, only transformed. Let's go deeper into this truth. Let's expand your understanding of how this works in every area of your life. The same pattern that shows up in your love life shows up everywhere. Every job you wanted but didn't get. Every opportunity that seemed perfect but slipped away. Every dream that felt so close you could taste it but somehow never materialized. All of it has been preparing you. All of it has been developing within you the qualities you need to handle what you're truly meant to receive. Think about the job you didn't get last year. What qualities would you have needed to succeed in that position? Confidence, leadership skills, technical expertise, communication abilities. Now look at what you've developed since then. The confidence you've gained through other experiences, the skills you've acquired, the wisdom you've developed. You are not the same person who applied for that job. You are more qualified now, not just professionally, but emotionally and spiritually. The same is true with relationships. Every person who couldn't stay has been preparing you for the person who will not only stay, but thrive in your presence. Because you are becoming someone who can give love instead of just seeking it, someone who can create magic instead of just hoping for it, someone who can generate the feelings you used to need others to provide. This is the ultimate freedom. This is what every spiritual teacher has been pointing toward. Not the freedom to get what you want, but the freedom to be what you seek. When you embody the love you seek, you don't need to chase it. It comes to you naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. When you embody the success you seek, opportunities don't elude you. They seek you out. When you embody the peace you seek, your life doesn't feel chaotic. It feels like a perfect unfolding. This is not about pretending to be something you're not. This is about remembering what you really are underneath all the conditioning and fear and doubt. You are love seeking to express itself through form. You are consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. You are the universe becoming aware of itself through your unique perspective. The person who couldn't be with you saw this truth about you, even if they couldn't articulate it. That's why the connection felt so profound. They were recognizing the divinity in you, and you were recognizing the divinity in them. But divinity doesn't need to possess other divinity to be whole. It seeks to express itself more fully through communion with other expressions of itself. This is what you're preparing for. Not just a relationship, but a sacred partnership. Not just love, but love that transforms both people and everyone they touch. The waiting period is not punishment, it is preparation. Use it wisely. Now I want you to feel something profound. I want you to feel the love you have for that person who cannot be in your life. But instead of directing it toward them with longing, I want you to direct it toward yourself with gratitude. Feel grateful for every moment of connection you shared. Feel grateful for the awakening they catalyzed. Feel grateful for the person you are becoming because of having known them. This gratitude is not resignation, it is recognition. Recognition that nothing is ever wasted. Everything is always working for your highest good, even when it doesn't feel like it. Feel the love you have for them transforming into love for yourself. Feel the appreciation you have for their qualities becoming appreciation for your own developing qualities. Feel the passion you felt in their presence becoming passion for your own life, your own growth, your own becoming. This is not replacing them. This is integrating the gift they gave you. This is honoring what they awakened in you by letting it live fully in every aspect of your existence. Feel how full you are. Feel how complete you are. Feel how ready you are to love from overflow rather than need. This is the feeling that will magnetize your next chapter. This is the vibration that will call in experiences that match your new level of consciousness. Stay in this feeling. Breathe it into every cell of your body. Let it become your new normal. In 6 months, you will look back on this moment as the turning point. The moment you stopped being a victim of love and became a master of it. You will see that every person who couldn't stay was preparing you for the person who not only can stay, but who is magnetically drawn to the version of yourself that you are becoming. You will understand that you were never broken. You were never incomplete. You were never lacking anything essential. You were always whole, always worthy, always enough. You just needed certain experiences to remember this truth. The person you cannot be with was not your missing piece. They were your awakening call. They came to remind you of your own magnificence, and then they stepped aside so you could claim it fully. This is divine love. Love that serves your highest evolution rather than your temporary comfort. Love that breaks you open so something more beautiful can emerge. Stop asking why they left. Start asking what they revealed. Stop mourning what you lost. Start celebrating what you gained. Stop waiting for them to come back. Start becoming the person who naturally attracts what you truly desire. Your next chapter is being written right now. Every day you choose to embody the love you seek rather than chase it. You are writing yourself into a story of such beauty and fulfillment that your current heartbreak will seem like a small price to pay for the paradise you are creating. The universe has not forgotten you. It has not abandoned you. It has been orchestrating every detail of your life to bring you to this moment of understanding. That person who cannot be in your life has played their role perfectly. They came to love you awake. Now it is time for you to stay awake, to live awake, to love awake. Not someday, not when the perfect person appears, not when the circumstances align. Now, return to this teaching whenever you forget. Return until the truth of it lives in your bones. Return until you need no one's presence to feel whole. Return until you know beyond doubt that you were never meant to be a half seeking your other half. You were meant to be a whole, attracting another whole, creating something magnificent together. The work is not finished. This was not entertainment, but transformation. And transformation requires repetition until the old patterns dissolve and the new way of being becomes natural. Will you return to this truth? Will you choose wholeness over neediness? Will you embody the love you seek instead of chasing it? Your answer will determine everything that comes next. The person you couldn't be with has given you a gift beyond measure. They have shown you who you really are. Now become that person fully. The universe is waiting to celebrate your homecoming.